Smith.
New Miami style.
Yeah.
General.
Lito. Yeah.
Listen.
Been on the grind since the days of the stroller in the playpen. Hustling till we dead and gone and we made.
Bill Monahan here with Cleva Records. And today's decision day, a meeting with Major Gage.
So, today's decision day, and it took a while. It wasn't anything that I did easily or you know, it wasn't anything that I didn't put a lot of deep thought into. This is a serious industry, and these are serious dudes. So like, I really sat down and I put a lot into it. I got a lot going on in my life. It wasn't an easy decision, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna rock with dude one more time because he's an authentic dude. There's a quality product, and there are other good people that, you know, are very capable of getting us to where we gotta go. So, you know, I talked it over with C in a bit. And you know, I kicked it around in my head, and I decided, you know, I'm gonna come on, I'm gonna rock with it, and we're gonna see where this goes. Because I mean, we got the best music anywhere, and some of the best people behind that music, and it should be heard. It should be recognized. We should be able to profit off of that and move forward in the industry. So we'll see what it do. Okay. So I made my decision.
Great. When do we start?
Why you assuming I said yes?
Because I could see it in your eyes.
Like
brother.
that?
I saw it in, the passion is still there, bro.
It's there.
The passion's there. Not only is the passion there, right? The fire is there.
Agreed.
It's there, man. I saw it in your eyes, bro.
Okay, bet, yeah.
Plus, once I knew Cian was in, I knew you couldn't stay out.
Well, you know,
if
Cian,
wanted to.
that's
You
my
couldn't.
guy.
You would never let him go in.
That's
you
my
never
dude.
let him gain fame by himself. You couldn't do it. You just could not let that happen.
Not really in that respect, but like, you know, me and him, we kind of built this together. You know, he's the one who actually introduced me to you. And, you know, we kind of made a real good tag team. He does what he does, I do what I do. And the two, you know, just kind of work together, you know, that balance. The label needs a scene and it needs a Major Gage. You know what I'm saying? Because too much of one or the other might, you know, it might offset the balance. So I think that's a good thing.
Well, you guys were making music before I met you.
Yeah, for a gap. I've been making music. I've been writing rap songs since I was 10.
Yeah, but I mean, you and Cian were doing a little music together.
We were doing music together. Yeah, I had my own little, you know, clique or whatever, bottom line, you know, whatever the case.
Bottom line man on assignment.
Yeah. It was popping. It was popping. We do that, you know what I mean? So the dude, I saw, you know, that he had a really serious talent coming in along with some of the other guys, and I knew we had chemistry. So it made sense. You know what I'm saying? And you know, once we started creating, you know, the beats and the rhymes and the life, as A Tribe Called Quest would say, beats, rhymes, life just kind of, you know, they just kind of intersected, and you had culture. You had music that was authentic and like there was something in it that you could feel. And so it just made sense.
I remember when the first time Cian brought you to the studio.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember you got hot. Cause I kicked you out the room. That was your studio. And I kicked you out the room.
What happened?
You had a song you wanted me to write to. Spilled Milk was the song. You had a song you wanted me to write to. Hey, you know, I want you to write something, this, that, and the third. And you can't, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll write to it, and I put on the beat, whatever. And like, you know, I didn't want to really freestyle it, I wanted to write it. And you were standing there at the door, and I'm like, what you standing there at the door for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you just kept standing there, you were looking at bobbing your head, and looking at bobbing your head, and then I just looked up, I'm like, boss, I need to write.
I remember.
I know this is your studio, but I'm gonna need a little privacy, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, could you get your ass up out of here?
But
that happened.
I remember it.
And you was 38 hot about that shit too. You wasn't feeling that.
Well, it ain't every day you get thrown out of your own studio. But before that, we got to that point because you had a demo.
Right.
It was like, because I remember Sean coming, Sean didn't have a demo. He didn't have anything.
Right.
But when you came in, it's funny because the two personality types, right?
Yeah.
Sean didn't have anything.
Right.
You came in with a demo. But I remember the demo because I remember because it blew me away.
Okay.
But it wasn't the quality of the demo because it was recorded poorly.
Well, what we had.
Well, you did, but you did it.
Yeah.
You did it because at that time, it's not like it is now.
Right.
It was very hard. Everything was crazy, expensive. Nowadays, people can create quality much, much cheaper.
It's different.
But in those days, you could not.
Nah, you couldn't do that.
So it was like, I didn't sweat the quality of the demo. It didn't bother me at all.
Right.
Because I could hear your ability, your lyrical ability, your flow, the way you spit on the tracks. I was like, I remember just thinking, wow. I remember thinking, this is because you're the only other guy. If you notice, in hip hop, it's Cian and you with Cian Brooklyn, you Miami. Yeah. The only two guys that ever inspired me to help them find their voice.
I appreciate that.
You know, because it was powerful, and I said, man, this guy's a monster talent, crazy talent.
Thank you.
And I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, nah, you wasn't, definitely.
Bro, I just want to tell you, man, how proud I am of you, because to begin to dream again is not easy.
Real talk.
To try again is not easy. Takes courage, man.
Yeah.
Takes real courage. Takes balls, man. Takes balls.
Real talk.
Really does. I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate you.
I'm proud of you, brother.
I already know.
Proud of you, man.
Real talk.
Tell me, what was it like growing up in Liberty City, specifically in the Brown Sub?
It was really, really inspiring for a lyricist. You know, for a kid, you don't really necessarily know what's going on except that, hey, you know that you're poor. You know that you fight, you gotta fight every day or often, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. And you know that, you know, the people who are around you are doing the best they can. You know what I mean? You know that much, you know, but like I said, I've been writing rap songs since I was 10 years old. So like even then I was writing poetry, I was writing rap songs, stuff like that. And you know, I would talk about some of the things that I would see there in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, you know, from, you know, when I started school, you know, it was always some type of problem. I was always an oddball. I was always you know, that kid, you know, because my family was African, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother, she used to always wear the traditional African garb, African attire, like everywhere we went, you know, so people thought I was a Yahweh and people thought this and they thought that. And you know, they had their little jokes. When you're a kid, you don't know no better. Then my name, my government name is an African name, like a hardcore African name. So you got kids messing with me in school, you know, throwing their little insults or what, cause they don't know no better. They don't know that, you know, that's where their history actually comes from. We're all, you know, from Africa. They don't know any better. So they just going at me. And so obvious, and I was a smart kid too. Everybody used to, you know, take their little shots. And, you know, my mom was probably the firebrand that, you know, kind of got on me like, hey, you know, you don't let nobody come at you and this and that or whatever. You know, these kids, you know, they coming at you and they talking, they smack, and, you know, they put their hands on you or whatever the case may be. You make sure you let them know what's popping. And, you know, because of that, you know, that's kind of how I developed my edgy shell, you know, where, you know, you say something to me, you're gonna get a response. You're gonna get slapped with words, you know what I'm saying? And that actually probably trickled over into my lyricism, you know what I mean?
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
Because in Block Ain't Changing, you say, the ghetto on fire, but the block ain't changing. Explain that lyric.
When you have a fire, what do you want to do? Put it out. Make things better. Have tranquility. You understand what I'm saying? You know, bring things to a point where everyone is on one accord, where there's harmony, where there's peace, where people have some sense of agency. about themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, this should be a communal thing.
Every kid wants peace. And
Every
peace
kid
in
wants
their
peace.
neighborhood, peace in their home, right?
You know, you got kids can't, even to this day, you still got kids can't walk to school, you know, without rolling through gang territory and, you know, this, that, and the third or whatever. And that was happening then. So it's in a very literal sense, it's a real lyric. The ghetto is on fire. You got all this chaos, all these, you know, horrible things, these atrocities. The ghetto is on fire. But the block ain't changing. No one is doing anything to usher in meaningful change. You understand what I'm saying? That's a very real thing. You know, you have your elected officials, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They get by the best way they can. You know what I mean? They don't care. Tupac talked about this in detail. You know, it's one of my inspirations lyrically, you know, and that was why I really gravitated to his music. You know, that's why, you know, I really felt what he was saying, because he always had this empathetic undertone, not even an undertone, you know, that it was very pronounced in his music, very upfront, you know, this empathy for the downtrodden, you know, and in this society where everyone has forgotten those people, I think that's very important, you know, because it can't go on like that into perpetuity. Something has to change at some point.
Well, you say in the song, "The block ain't changing," I holler, "Where my soldiers at?" And they all been taken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's happening all the time, you know, and that's because of, you know, it's a number of things, you know, but, you know, when you have poverty, the few scraps that are there, everybody's fighting for them. And, you know, sometimes that fighting, it's not just a fight, it turns into, you know, people get killed. You know what I mean? And then, you know, so you have the people who are being killed by other people who are trying to get resources. You have, you know, the systematic racism that targets certain people and, you know, tries to incarcerate them. You understand where I'm coming from? And then you have, you know, now you got police, you know, just going down, you know, and just murdering people and getting away with impunity. You know, these type of things have been going on, and they're still going on. And so when I say, "Where my soldiers at?" but they've all been taken, again, that's a very literal and very real lyric, you know, because it's popping off like that. They're really being taken. You know what I'm saying? Like, displaced and put in other places where they can't be productive members of society.
Yeah, Major Gage just told you what it was like growing up in Brown Sub. Now hear the song, "Block Ain't Changing" by Major Gage.
Block ain't changing. Yeah, that's a hot one.
Yeah. Gate. Cleva Records. What I'm having on assignment.
New Miami style.
Yeah.
General.
Lito. Yeah.
Listen.
Been on the grind since the days of the stroller in the plate pen. Hustling the till we dead and gone and we made men. The heat blazing, the boys still hanging. The ghetto on fire, but the block ain't changing. Trying not to spend time in the state pen. Hustling the till we dead and gone and we made men. My dogs gaining and still maintaining. The ghetto on fire, but the block ain't changing. know we seem crazy, but really, we trying to keep warm and streets to chilly. Grinding, trying to keep the next man from beefing with me. Can't sleep or nap and get your ass capped, so we be strapped and ready to scrap. Fall into the trap or adapt, we riders, and we don't take kindly to outsiders. Lack of trust make us bust and know nothing surprises. Closer when you're flossing in these here streets, cause shit quick to get on and poppin' like hot grease. See what we raised round gangbangers and cane slangers, where nights are nightmares and the days are dangerous. What's good in the hood, we gon' stay true to it, and what need work ain't gon' change till we do it. So for better or for worse, we ain't strange. Me into these blocks they be claiming and they ain't changing, but we been on the grind since the days of the stroller in the playpen. Hustle either till we dead and gone and we made men. The heat blazing, the boys still hanging, the ghetto on fire, but the block ain't changing. We trying not to spend time in the state pen. Hustle either till we dead and gone and we made men. My dogs gaining and still maintaining, the ghetto on fire, but the block ain't changing. We lost through the hood, we roll with baller status, but we still get more jail time than college credit. So think before these streets get you shot up and shanked, and try to plot on ways to make it legitimate bank. That's real talk, cause truthfully my heart is breaking, cause so many of my dogs is facing incarceration under close watch, cause them crooked cops is waiting so they can lock their ass up like constipation. Looking past cause some of us walking straight, and I'm hollering where my soldiers at, but they all been taken, busy trying to get fast money, flossing